Well, the fourth glorious mystery is the Assumption of Mary, body and soul, into heaven. So this wonderful feast has been reflected upon not only in the scriptures but in our Catholic tradition. And we see that Mary becomes, one of the first fruits of the resurrection. That what happens to Mary will happen to us. That she who not only carried Jesus spiritually in her heart but physically in her body, that her body would not become corrupt, because it's been touched by the divine. And it's a somewhat abstract, but it's a very beautiful Marian mystery, which I encourage us to think about now in the COVID world that we're in, that Jesus touched Mary spiritually and physically. So physically, the touching of Jesus in us physically, through the Eucharist, through the sacraments, which unfortunately so many of us have to just be content with a live streaming of the Mass at the moment, but so be it. The spiritual Eucharist, as we await for the sacramental Eucharist once the church is open. So these different ways that Jesus comes to us, and that Mary allowed Jesus to speak to her, to touch her in different ways, spiritually, physically, any other way, mentally. And she walked as she did her visitation to people in need like Elizabeth. So we pray too that we become Marian people, that the Assumption of Mary also is something that we can participate even a little bit at the moment, but we wait till our death when we will see Jesus and Mary face to face in the glorious hope-filled moment of the resurrection of the dead and our participation in the Easter mysteries. So let's pause for a moment in silence after our praying of the Decade of the Rosary and ask Mary to teach us how we can be her presence that leads us to Jesus in a practical way today.